This is the Alphabet Inc. 1 month overview reading for the month of November. That's ticker symbol GOOG. It's currently October 30th, 2024, 1:29 p.m. Eastern Time. Google, at the time it is reading, $178.28. That's USD. And the shuffle video for the November reading was created on August 21st, 2024 at 5:07 p.m. Eastern Time. In this video, we're going to cover the overall trend direction for the month, as well as any important chart events that take place throughout the month. We're also going to cover the week-by-week chart behavior, timing of the peaks and troughs. Then we're going to get into a review of the previous month's reading to give you an idea of what our accuracy really is like. And we're going to give you one of the best trades that we see for the month. The timing, for the most part, is going to be on point to the day, but there will be some cases where the sequence of events, as outlined in the prediction, will remain accurate, but the day might be off plus or minus a day, wiggle room here or there. In other readings, you won't need to plus or minus wiggle room at all. Point being is that you want to follow the sequence of events as outlined by the prediction. When trading this information, you don't want to use price levels as your entry and exits. This is very important. You want to make sure that you're trading with entry and exits based on chart behavior and general timing, but look for the chart behavior. All of that in this video. Stay tuned to watch the review at the end. The overall theme of behavior for the month of November, we have a period of sideways rotation with a sharp drop that'll stand out in that period of sideways rotation. This is on the scale of a multi-day chart. It's crossed with the universe card, indicating that there's going to be likely a market-wide drop at some point that Google is involved in. Most likely, either way, even if it's not a market-wide drop, there should be a pretty sharp drop at some point in the month of November, probably more than once, but at least once. Now, behavior on the highest side, the Princess of Swords indicating that we decline from a key resistance level at the highest side for the month. We key resistance on a one-year chart scale most likely, and when we decline from it, we'll then return back to it at least one time throughout the month of November, or we'll return to it in the following month. Usually it's within the same month several times. Behavior around the lowest low, we have kind of a similar type of behavior going on all around the low, where we've got erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level. In the midst of that erratic behavior, we should revisit a recent past opportunity. Usually what that means is that we're revisiting in the low significator position. It means one of two things. Either there's a crest that was a past opportunity recently that we revisit near the low, or more likely we're revisiting a trough that was an opportunity and we're revisiting more than once, i.e. revisiting the low more than once. That's more likely what's taking place. So overall, this is looking pretty solid. The high significator and the low significator both kind of indicating the same energy as the theme card, which is very like sidewaysy with some erratic swings in it most likely. Looks like there's an overbought crest probably midway through the month after a drop early in the month. All right, guys, now I'm going to get into the day-by-day. In the month of November, I just kind of felt like doing the day-by-day in some of these public version videos. So we're going to do the day-by-day chart behavior throughout the month of November. This is a guide for you to follow as far as the sequence of chart events. Usually the timing is right on point to the day, but there may be cases where you're plus or minus a day here of wiggle room on the timing, but the sequence of events remains accurate nonetheless. So that's the most important thing to pay attention to. Again, usually the timing is right on point, but keep in mind that sometimes you need to give it a little wiggle room. So the best way to really trade this information is to have the live Discord trade alerts and live updated trading view charts, all part of the multi-access subscription on our website, Turf for Traders. I'll show you how to get that at the end of the video. I'm going to give you the peaks and the troughs as well, but as far as the highest highs and the lowest low, which ones are highest and lowest of them throughout the month, that's stuff that you get in the paid version or in the multi-access subscription version. All right, so on the first, we have a trough that we rally out of. There's a breakout, at least temporarily. Early in the morning on the 4th, we have an important technical price level highlighted on probably a one-year chart scale. I'm advised to be very cautious there. There's some sort of tricky chart behavior that will likely make you do the wrong thing. On the 4th, there should be two local lows. So on a one-day chart, you should see two troughs or lows of some kind on a one-day chart for the 4th. And most likely sideways rotation. Yeah, so I think probably what happens is we drop on the 4th from a peak, and then we do sideways rotation along important, significant troughs on a one-month scale. And then towards the end of the day on the 4th, or more likely midday on the 5th, we have a fast sudden move higher, bumping up into resistance, ending the sideways rotation, and bumping up against resistance sideways with a peak midday on the 5th. On the 6th, there's another prominent peak. We're rallying along a diagonal trend line, breaking through horizontal resistance, meet another resistance before pulling back to somewhere between those two price levels. The very next day, though, we have a prominent peak that we sell off from pretty notably into a prominent trough on a one-month scale there on the 7th. And then on the 8th, a prominent move higher, full retracement of that move. On the 11th, we likely open higher. There's a peak at the beginning of the day, an important technical price level on a one-year chart scale. Likely we drop from that peak early in the day. Actually, the 11th is looking like there's a drop and a move back to resistance from that drop. But on the 12th, we have a prominent trough on a one-month scale. This one will really likely stand out pretty important on a one-month scale there. On the 13th, another trough with a big move to the upside out of it, pushing the upper end of a range higher. On the 14th, an important an overbought crest, a near overbought crest that we sell off from through multiple support levels. On the 15th, 3 pokes through the same trend line, followed by a sharp drop off of the third poke. On the 18th, we have an unexpected move to the upside and another prominent peak. Sideways fluidity, equal amounts of bulls and bear inflow and outflow on the 19th with a trough towards the end of the day. An overbought crest on the, so we have a crest, a peak and a trough on the 19th, and then we have another peak or crest, I should say, on the 20th, an overbought crest or peak that we sell off from through multiple support levels, turning into significant price swinging on the 21st with a peak early in the day on the 22nd and kind of a flat overall day on the 22nd. Notable decline through multiple support levels on the 25th. Significant trade opportunity I'll talk about in the monthly access subscription. And on the 26th with a big move and a breakout to the upside out of it. A lot of price change covered on the 27th with another trade opportunity and likely a rally into the close on the 27th with a gap up at a peak on the 29th and a trade opportunity there. There's probably sideways rotation on the 29th of some kind. And then you want to be careful in December. Some tricky chart behavior in December intended to make us do the wrong thing. All right, now I'm going to give you one of the best trades that I see for the month of November. But and then after that, we're going to show you how to get the monthly access subscription where you get all of the best trades as well as the access to the live Discord, trade alerts, and updated trading view charts. All of that in just a moment. Stay tuned. Before we do that, let's just take a look at October and see how we did. So I think the Google October readings, probably the weakest of my October readings. Doesn't mean it was awful, but probably the weakest of them. Yeah, so I had a low. It was difficult to determine the low, but I had a low somewhere around the 23rd, 24th, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and also around the 14th, 15th. It looks like the 14th, 15th was definitely off, and I was off by a day on that second low. So not the most solid as far as timing the lows. As far as the highs, so we had a peak here on the highest high thus far on the 7th. 11th was off, and then we had a high side thus far around the 25th, and it looks like that was a couple of days off. However, we do have at the end of the month here another possibility of a highest high, and it looks like that's really going to come to fruition. So as far as the timing, the highest highs and the lows, highs were much better, lows pretty off. I mean, really my weakest of my October readings, but I always post the results, whether it's good or bad, so that you guys get an honest reflection of my accuracy, and obviously I've got nothing to worry about. As far as the best trades, let's see, on the 10th, we would have opened up a long position on the 10th. You could have closed it on the 11th, or you could have closed it on the 15th. But more likely, I would have advised to close it on the 11th. You would have left quite a bit on the table, but it still would have been a solid trade. On the 15th, we would have opened up a short position. That looks pretty solid. And it actually looks like maybe closing it same day or the very next day would have made sense. On the 17th, another trade opportunity. Either an opportunity to exit a long or open up a short. That panned out pretty solid. And then on the 23rd, we have an opportunity to open up a short, which you would have closed the next day, about midday, and that would have panned out pretty solid as well. Overall, the trades were really, really solid, my friends. And on top of that, we would have been following, if you have the monthly access subscription, you would have been following the Discord trade alerts, which are even more on point. All right, so one of the best trades that I see for the month of November. So you could pretty much play both directions because there's going to be a lot of back and forth. But what I want to be doing is setting myself up for a longer term play with this highest high kind of taking place in the November, December area. Matter of fact, it might actually be it looks like it's actually taking place in November. I saw that in another equity reading as well. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to utilize this Princess of Swords price level that will decline from and then return to, because these are really easy trades in SO Meta, usually pretty solid and reliable trades of Princess of Swords. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the entry and the exit, but before that, I'm going to give you the chart behavior to look out for as far as signaling to get poised to enter. So that way, if you see the chart behavior transpire as expected, then you enter as planned. If you don't see that chart behavior transpire as expected, don't enter. It'll be an off trade basically. And as always, make sure that the best way to trade this information is with our live Discord trade alerts. So what I would do is on the 4th, provided early in the day, early in the morning, we're at probably a highest high thus far, or close. We're at a peak early in the day on the 4th, and that's at an important technical price level on a 1-year chart scale. We should do sideways rotation, drop from that and do sideways rotation the majority of the day. Now, if we do sideways rotation and we're near lows, lowest lows for the month thus far towards the end of the day on the 4th, that's where you could enter into a long position, and you would look to close that long position possibly the very next day, midday, if we were to revisit the price level of the resistance that we fell from early on the 4th. And if that doesn't work out, then you would close out of it most likely on the 11th. If not the 11th, you could close out of it on the 18th. There's several backups for that trade. That's really the best trade. But again, live Discord trade alerts, live updated trading view charts, best way to trade this information. It's like a game changer with that stuff, guys. Definitely worth the money. And with that said, that's Alphabet for November 2024. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. Guys, if you haven't subscribed and you like this stuff, please subscribe. It really helps out the channel. But most importantly, make sure to follow that rule of karma. It's the whole purpose of the channel. So make sure to follow through on that. Much love and appreciation to all my angel investors. I will see you guys on the next one. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to get that monthly access subscription. All right, the way that you get the monthly access subscription, the most popular subscription on our website, Tarot for Traders, you go to tarotfortraders.com, hover over order now, click on subscriptions. It's the monthly access subscription right here in the middle. Gives you access to the full version of all of these crypto and tickers on a monthly basis by the day with the highs and the lows predicted, as well as the Discord trade alerts for all of these tickers in crypto, and live updated trading view chart links where we draw entry and exits. I mean, it doesn't get easier than that. It's $300 a month, super undervalued for the kind of edge that this will give you. So thank you to everybody that goes ahead and does that. This is my life's work. Hope it helps you out dramatically, and it should. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one.